I had always been drawn to the paranormal, fascinated by the unexplained and the eerie mysteries that lurked in the shadows. So when I heard whispers of strange happenings at St. Agnes Academy, a secluded boarding school nestled in the heart of the countryside, I knew I had to investigate. Armed with my camera and a sense of grim determination, I set out for St. Agnes, my heart pounding with anticipation and my mind filled with visions of ghostly apparitions and haunted hallways. Little did I know that what awaited me at the school would be far more terrifying than anything I could have imagined. As I arrived at St. Agnes, the imposing Gothic architecture loomed before me, its towering spires reaching up to the sky like fingers clawing at the heavens. The school seemed to exude an air of darkness and foreboding, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. Undeterred by the ominous atmosphere, I made my way inside, the heavy wooden doors creaking open to reveal a dimly lit foyer that seemed frozen in time. Dust motes danced in the air, and the sound of my footsteps echoed off the walls like a dirge. I began my investigation in the school's abandoned library, where I had heard rumors of strange phenomena and unexplained occurrences. As I set up my camera to record, a chill wind swept through the room, sending shivers down my spine. Suddenly, the books on the shelves began to tremble, their pages fluttering open as if possessed by some unseen force. I watched in horror as the titles of the books changed before my eyes, their words twisting and warping into gibberish that made my head spin. But it wasn't until I heard the sound of whispered voices echoing in the darkness that I realized I was not alone. I turned to see a group of spectral figures standing before me, their faces twisted in agony and their eyes burning with an otherworldly fire. I tried to run, but my feet seemed rooted to the spot, and I could only watch in terror as the ghostly apparitions closed in around me. Their voices grew louder, their words a cacophony of pain and suffering that echoed off the walls like a death knell. And then, just as suddenly as they had appeared, the ghosts vanished into thin air, leaving me alone in the silent darkness. I stumbled out of the library, my heart racing and my mind reeling from the horrors I had witnessed. But my ordeal was far from over. As I continued my investigation, I encountered more and more strange phenomena, from flickering lights to disembodied footsteps that echoed in the empty corridors. It seemed as though the very fabric of reality was unraveling around me, and I knew that I was in the grip of something far more powerful than anything I had ever encountered. And then, one night as I wandered the halls in search of answers, I stumbled upon a hidden chamber hidden deep beneath the school. Its walls were adorned with strange symbols and arcane sigils, and I could feel a malevolent energy pulsing through the air like a tangible force. As I approached the center of the chamber, I saw a figure standing before me, its form shrouded in darkness and its eyes glowing with a sickly green light. It was the source of the haunting, the entity that had been tormenting the students of St. Agnes for centuries. With a blood-curdling scream, it lunged at me, its claws outstretched and its fangs bared in a grotesque mockery of a smile. I tried to run, but I was paralyzed with fear, unable to move as the creature bore down upon me with a hunger that could only be described as demonic. And then, just as suddenly as it had appeared, the entity vanished into thin air, leaving me alone in the darkness once more. I stumbled out of the chamber, shaken but alive, knowing that I had witnessed something beyond my comprehension. As I made my way back to the surface, I knew that I would never forget the horrors I had experienced at St. Agnes Academy, and I vowed to share my story with the world as a warning to those who dared to seek out the secrets of the paranormal. And so, the legend of St. Agnes Academy lived on, a cautionary tale for those who dared to tread its haunted halls, a reminder that some mysteries are best left unsolved. It was a crisp autumn evening when I received an email that would change my life forever. The subject line simply read, "Invitation to investigate Hawthorne Academy." Intrigued, I opened the message to find a cryptic invitation from an anonymous sender, inviting me to visit the prestigious boarding school, to document the strange occurrences that had plagued its halls for decades. Despite the lack of details, I felt a surge of excitement at the prospect of exploring the mysteries of Hawthorne Academy. Armed with my camera and a sense of adventure, I set out for the secluded campus nestled deep in the heart of the forest, my mind buzzing with anticipation and my heart pounding with excitement. As I arrived at Hawthorne Academy, I was struck by its grandeur and beauty. The ivy-covered buildings and sprawling grounds seemed to exude an air of mystery and intrigue, and I couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the school than met the eye. I was greeted by the headmaster, a stern-faced man with piercing eyes and a demeanor that brooked no nonsense. He welcomed me warmly and escorted me to my accommodations, a cozy guest room in one of the school's oldest buildings. As I settled in for the night, I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Shadows seemed to dance at the edges of my vision, and strange noises echoed in the darkness outside my window. But I brushed off my unease and drifted off to sleep, eager to begin my investigation in the morning. The next day, I set out to explore the sprawling campus of Hawthorne Academy, camera in hand and a sense of excitement coursing through my veins. I wandered the empty hallways and deserted classrooms, soaking in the atmosphere and searching for clues that would shed light on the school's dark past. But as I delved deeper into the labyrinthine corridors, I began to sense that something was not quite right. The air grew heavy with an oppressive weight, and a sense of unease settled over me like a thick fog. I heard whispers echoing in the darkness, faint and indistinct, as if carried on the wind from some far-off place. I followed the sound, my heart pounding with anticipation, until I found myself standing before a door that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. With trembling hands, I pushed open the door and stepped into the room beyond, my breath catching in my throat as I beheld the sight before me. The walls were adorned with strange symbols and arcane sigils, and the air was thick with the scent of incense and decay. In the center of the room stood a figure cloaked in shadows, its form shifting and twisting in the dim light. It spoke to me in a voice that seemed to emanate from the depths of the earth, its words a chilling whisper that sent shivers down my spine. It was the ghost of a young girl, her eyes hollow and filled with an unfathomable sadness. She told me of the tragedies that had befallen Hawthorne Academy, of students who had vanished without a trace, and teachers who had met untimely ends. But as she spoke, I felt a sense of empathy and compassion wash over me. I realized that the ghost was not a malevolent force, but a lost soul, trapped between worlds, seeking solace and redemption. As I listened to the ghost's tale, a sense of clarity washed over me, and I knew what I had to do. I vowed to help the spirit find peace, to uncover the truth behind the mysteries of Hawthorne Academy, and put an end to the haunting that had plagued its halls for so long. Armed with newfound determination, I set out to unravel the secrets of the school's dark past. I pored over old records and newspaper clippings, piecing together fragments of a story that had long been forgotten. I learned of a tragic fire that had swept through Hawthorne Academy decades ago, claiming the lives of countless students and teachers and leaving behind a legacy of sorrow and despair. And I realized that the ghost of the young girl was not the only spirit that haunted the school's halls. There were others, lost souls trapped in limbo, their restless spirits crying out for release. And I knew that it was up to me to help them find peace, to put an end to the cycle of suffering and torment that had plagued Hawthorne Academy for far too long. Armed with the knowledge of the school's dark past, I set out to confront the source of the haunting once and for all. I returned to the room where I had first encountered the ghost of the young girl, my heart pounding with anticipation and my mind filled with determination. As I entered the room, I felt a chill wind sweep through the air, and the shadows seemed to writhe and twist in the darkness. But I stood my ground, my resolve unshaken as I faced the spectral figure before me. I spoke to the ghost with kindness and compassion, offering her solace and understanding in the face of her pain and suffering. And as I reached out to her, I felt a surge of energy course through me, a power unlike anything I had ever experienced before. With a final cry of anguish, the ghost dissolved into the ether, her spirit finally at peace after centuries of torment. and as her essence faded into the darkness, I felt a sense of closure wash over me, knowing that I had helped to put an end to the haunting that had plagued Hawthorne Academy for so long. As I left Hawthorne Academy behind, I knew that I would never forget the experiences I had had within its shadowed halls. The memories of the ghostly encounters and supernatural phenomena would stay with me forever, a testament to the power of the unknown and the resilience of the human spirit. But as I drove away from the school, I felt a sense of hope and renewal wash over me, knowing that I had helped to bring peace to the restless souls that had haunted its halls for so long. And as I looked to the future, I knew that my journey was far from over, and that there were many more mysteries waiting to be uncovered in the world beyond. The air inside the school was thick with anticipation as students bustled through the hallways, eager to reunite with friends and embark on another semester of learning. Among them was Sarah, a quiet and reserved girl with a penchant for the supernatural. As she entered the school grounds, a shiver ran down her spine, as if the building itself was alive with secrets waiting to be uncovered. Sarah had always been drawn to the abandoned wing of the school, rumored to be haunted by the spirits of students who had mysteriously disappeared decades ago. Despite warnings from her classmates, she couldn't resist the pull of the forgotten wing, determined to uncover the truth behind its eerie reputation. As Sarah delved deeper into the forgotten wing, strange occurrences began to plague her. Whispering voices echoed through the empty corridors, and shadows seemed to move of their own accord. But Sarah refused to be deterred, convinced that there was something hidden within the abandoned halls waiting to be discovered. During one of her explorations, Sarah stumbled upon an old diary hidden beneath a pile of dust-covered books. As she flipped through its pages, she uncovered the chilling accounts of a student who had vanished without a trace decades ago. The diary spoke of dark rituals performed within the walls of the forgotten wing and hinted at a malevolent presence lurking in the shadows. Determined to unravel the mystery of the forgotten wing, Sarah enlisted the help of her closest friends. Together, they pored over old yearbooks and newspaper clippings, piecing together the tragic history of the school and the students who had disappeared under mysterious circumstances. But the more they unearthed, the more they realized that some secrets were never meant to be uncovered. As Sarah and her friends delved deeper into the secrets of the forgotten wing, they unwittingly awakened an ancient evil that had been lying dormant for decades. Strange occurrences escalated into full-blown paranormal activity as the malevolent presence unleashed its fury upon the school. Locked inside the abandoned wing, Sarah and her friends must now confront the horrors of the past if they hope to survive the night. Trapped within the labyrinthine corridors of the forgotten wing, Sarah and her friends begin to succumb to the darkness that surrounds them. Whispers grow louder, shadows grow darker, and reality itself begins to unravel as they struggle to distinguish between what is real and what is merely a figment of their imagination. With each passing moment, they edge closer to the brink of madness. As the night wears on, Sarah and her friends find themselves face to face with the malevolent entity that haunts the forgotten wing. With nothing but their wits and courage to guide them, they must confront the horrors of the past and put an end to the evil that threatens to consume them. But as they soon discover, some nightmares never truly end. In the aftermath of the haunting, the school lies in ruins, its once bustling halls now silent and empty. Sarah and her friends emerge from the forgotten wing forever changed by their harrowing ordeal. Though they may have survived the night, they know that the darkness that lurks within the abandoned halls will never truly be vanquished. And as they look out upon the wreckage of their school, they can't help but wonder what other secrets lie waiting to be uncovered in the darkness. The school stood tall against the backdrop of the rising sun, its windows gleaming in the early morning light. As students trickled through the gates, excitement buzzed in the air, mingled with the nervous energy of a new semester. Among them was Alex, a curious sophomore with a penchant for the supernatural. Little did he know the school held secrets far darker than he could have imagined. Rumors whispered through the halls about the abandoned wing of the school, a section long forgotten by students and faculty alike. Tales of strange noises and ghostly apparitions sent shivers down the spines of those brave enough to venture near. Despite the warnings, Alex felt drawn to the abandoned wing, his curiosity outweighing his fear. It was during a late-night exploration that Alex first encountered the supernatural presence that lurked within the abandoned wing. As he crept through the dimly lit corridors, a chill ran down his spine and he felt as though unseen eyes were watching his every move. Suddenly, a cold breeze swept through the hallway, extinguishing his flashlight and plunging him into darkness. In his quest to uncover the truth behind the school's haunting, Alex stumbled upon an old diary hidden beneath a pile of debris. Its pages were yellowed with age, filled with cryptic entries detailing the experiences of a student who had once roamed the same halls. As Alex read on, he realized that the diary held the key to unlocking the secrets of the school's dark past. With each page he turned, Alex delved deeper into the mystery of the abandoned wing. He discovered tales of forbidden rituals performed by a secret society that had once thrived within the school's walls, their dark practices leaving a stain on the building that lingered to this day. But it was the mention of a malevolent entity that sent a shiver down Alex's spine, as he realized the true nature of the haunting that plagued the school. As Alex delved deeper into the secrets of the abandoned wing, he unwittingly awakened the malevolent entity that lurked within. Shadows twisted and writhed around him, and whispers echoed through the empty halls as the darkness closed in around him. But despite the danger, Alex refused to back down, determined to uncover the truth no matter the cost. Trapped within the labyrinthine corridors of the abandoned wing, Alex found himself battling not only the malevolent entity, but also his own sanity. Reality seemed to warp and twist around him as he struggled to distinguish between what was real and what was merely a figment of his imagination. But as the darkness consumed him, Alex knew that he had to find a way to escape before it was too late. With the help of his friends, Alex prepared to confront the malevolent entity that threatened to consume them all. Armed with ancient knowledge and sheer determination, they ventured deep into the heart of the abandoned wing, prepared to face whatever horrors awaited them. In a final showdown, they stood against the darkness, their courage shining bright in the face of unimaginable evil. In the aftermath of the battle, the abandoned wing lay in ruins, its dark secrets finally laid bare. Alex and his friends emerged battered but victorious, their bond stronger than ever in the wake of their ordeal. As they looked out upon the school grounds, they knew that they had faced the darkness and emerged triumphant. And as they walked away, they carried with them the knowledge that no matter how dark the night may seem, there is always light to be found in the hearts of those who dare to stand against the shadows.